Hello, everyone, and welcome to this moon journaling solstice celebration. And I see none of you were able to make it live today, which of course isn't a bad thing. It's all about celebrating the day and just taking your time off the weekend to recharge your batteries. I did want to go ahead with this and post this up for you to be able to watch the replay, because there were a couple of things I wanted to talk about with regard to your moon journaling class you have been going through these past weeks. So what we basically have been doing is following one specific cycle of the moon, starting with the new moon when it was very dark and there was no light in the sky. And we were examining ourselves, reaching inside ourselves, and seeing what inspiration was to be found there. Then we were going up to the first quarter moon to actually put those newfound insights into some kind of order of importance. Really find out where our priorities were and which ones seem to be viable to go through right now. And moving up to the full moon, we were seeing how we could put those ideas into action, how we could share them with the outside world, how we could actually see them becoming alive and like a plant just bearing fruits and bringing results into our lives. Now the energy of the moon is depleting again. We are actually going into some kind of completion phase where we are looking behind us, seeing if there are any things we still need to complete before moving on to a next level into our lives or doing something from an entirely different area. And the reason why I wanted to have this solstice celebration is because I want to make you aware that this actually is something that you can keep doing month after month, and that it's all part of a bigger cycle. So what we have been doing right now is following this for just 1 month's time. And the beauty of doing it this way and following the cycle of the moon is that you can just start all over whenever you like, and if things aren't working out for you, you don't have to be too upset about it, because it's all just that learning process and you will be able to start anew. But if you look at the sun, if you look at the seasons and the overall year, you will start to see that we are going through these exact same things, only at a different pace. We have started the new year at January 1st, December 21st if you go by the older tradition, so a little earlier. But it was also about planting our seeds, about setting our intentions for the year to come. And then you will have noticed that it's actually quite hard to follow up on those intentions and to see them all through. So it's a matter of having the few things on your list that you keep doing, and all of those other things that might have gotten somewhere on your to-do list or just totally be forgotten about by now. And the beauty of the solstice is that if you live in the northern hemisphere, and today I'm going to really focus on the northern hemisphere. I know I usually try to do this on a global scale and have the two parts of the world entwined. But for what I want to be sharing right now, it's really, it just works better with the northern part of the world. And you will quickly see why. So then the energy that you feel with the moon, that starts to grow until you have a full moon, and then it's depleting again. The same goes for the sun. At the new year, the energy was quite low. We were on winter here. And it started growing and growing. And today's the day, June 21st, where we have the longest day, where the energy of the sun is the strongest it will ever be. And the night will be very short when you look at the overall span of a year. And That's the beauty of it, that this is a time where you can really be aware of that tipping point, where you can become aware of, okay, everything I have been doing right now has been growing in energy. It has been all leading up to this very moment, up to this very point, where I can now say that I am starting to find myself. I can now say that those things I have been doing from January on until now, I can say that they are working for me, or they aren't. That I can say it with an absolute truth. And I know that as of tomorrow, this energy will start fading again in the outside world. And the same will go for my inner landscape. I will know if I need to continue this path, if it is the right one for me, and I can keep perfecting it and keep putting it into action and just keep being there until I see results of what I have started. Or I can choose to start something else. I can choose to walk away from this. Maybe not entirely, but just alter it and get back on track to where I really want to be. And this is something with the moon cycle that we do every month around the new moon. Every new cycle you can say, am I still on track? Do I still want to keep going? And the solstice actually combines this on a global level. So then it's not just looking at your personal things, if you are on track in your business, if you are on track on your creative goals, but also at your family goals. Did you take the trips you wanted to see the parts of the world you wanted to see? Or will you need to start planning them? Did you take enough breaks to go out and do other stuff and focus on working? Or is it something you will need to change in your schedule? Did you try to do too much on your own? And is it now the time to actually start looking for help to take you to the next level? That's all part of this beautiful energy we have going on. Another thing I wanted to share about solstice is that our ancestors believed that this is a time where the veils between the world were very thin. So you could basically call it that our spirits, our ancestors, used to walk among us at this time. A lot of people will stay awake during this night. There will be a lot of celebrations, and those that have passed away or that come from another realm will be welcomed as well. And I always like to describe myself as a down-to-earth intuitive, a down-to-earth energy healer. So I want to address those of you that might be having trouble with this and saying, well, this is a bridge too far for me. Well, it doesn't have to be. Now that modern day science is meeting spirituality and we are finding more and more proof for what we thought would just be unexplainable, we can see this as the veils between the worlds is the veils between our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. The veils between the energy of the sun and the energy of the moon. So if you look at that, it's basically that balance point you also see when you see half the energy of the moon illuminated and the other half not. This is a time where all of those energies can become combined, and you don't have that separation where your heart's in one place and your mind wants to go an entirely different way, or you might be stuck in an action mode and not be able to connect to your feminine side. And these are just a few examples I can think of from the top of my head. It's also just connecting all those parts of who you are, connecting who you want to be in the outside world and who you feel you are inside, It's walking your talk. It's just celebrating who you are and loving yourself for it. And this is the utmost perfect time for all of that. So I don't want to keep you any longer, since there's no one here to actually share what this experience has been for you. But if you are seeing this on YouTube or on Google and you haven't followed the moon journaling class, it was basically going through it 1 month, looking at your energy levels and how the moon is affecting you for 1 month's time. And you can always start doing that whenever you like. And if you have been going through this class, or you missed some parts, you want to go through them again, they are all in the moon circle. And just re-examine those parts in your journal. Re-examine those thoughts you had about yourself. See where your energy was getting lower and higher. And really know that this is a time, and after going through a cycle like this, that you can say, okay, now I know who I am. Now I know who I feel to be inside and what I want to share in the world. And if it isn't showing up exactly the way I want it right now, if I'm scared to take the next step, then I can call upon this energy of the solstice right now. And if the solstice has passed, just call upon the energy of the earth. Call upon the moon or the sun, whatever feels comfortable to you. But just breathe. Take a few deep breaths, center into yourself, and allow that external energy from the world, from the universe, to fill you up and to make you feel confident and have faith that this is who you are, this is what you can do, and you don't have to know all the steps. Just see those 2 little steps ahead of you and know that everything will work out from there on. So feel free to share your experiences with us in the group. I hope you've enjoyed this experience so far. And we are going to close off the last week with a couple of nice other practical exercises to release everything that might have built up in our system from our body and our cells. And I'm going to start with them tomorrow. You will see it in the group. The only thing I want to share about it right now is that it will be called Meditation in Motion. So be sure to check that out, and hope to see you all again. Bye-bye.